My name is Fernando Relis Lopez Jr., and I am going to be doing my Lab 2 video report. So the purpose of this lab is to bookend concepts first touched upon in Lab 1, including Coulomb's law, Newton's second law of motion, and the connection of physics and household objects. The lab also serves to touch on ideas established since the lectures, including the concept of infinitesimal charges, and integrating them to solve for the electric field. During the Lab 1, the following was determined. The mass calculated to approximately 0.2 grams or 0.0002 kilograms. The length of the tape was approximately 0.23 meters, and the charge was 1.07 times 10 to the negative 8 coulombs. You can see the calculations here. So the procedure was as follows, and is actually the same as the previous lab. To create two charged U-tapes by using a base tape, set the charged tape B on a pair of boxes or books hanging, bring a charged tape A below tape B, measure the distance from the original position of tape B to its repelled position, and measure the lengths of both tape A and tape B. So once you have grabbed the values, we were then given a model code which we would insert these values and then use it to calculate various parts. Here I set the electric field scale to 10 to the negative 6, as it is most similar to the charge 1.07 times 10 to the negative 8. Here you can also see that I kept the electric force scale the same, and the code automatically assigns the scale of the force for the electric field equal to the scale for the gravity. Here we followed the instructions to calculate the electric forces. We were told to edit the lines below, and as you can see, what I did was multiply the infinitesimal charges by the respective differential charges, and the result was a value which would be used to calculate the proper electric forces. As you can see, I inserted my electric field function from lab 0 into this code. It would return, it would follow the formula just as written in code. I also attached the function that was assigned to us. We would not touch this function, but what it did was that it gave the formula so it could calculate the various vectors at a certain position or sequence of positions, and that is seen below. So the screenshot here is the representation of what happened with the tapes. The gravity force is the same as a value calculated back in Lab 1, 1.962 times 10 to the negative 3, a little bit of variance. The electric force is much smaller. As you can see in the model, the vectors divert from as they get farther away from the center. So conclusions that can be made: if the tapes were modeled as charge points, then we would most likely overestimate the magnitude of the electric force. In the point charge model, we assumed that the electric force was equal to the gravitational force to determine the charge. But this also failed to account the force being applied to the area of the tape, as each charge affects not only the position above it, but also the one beside it. And in a point charge model, this does not translate. The estimates differ as the latter models are more accurate to calculate the proper values compared to the former models. And during the line charge model, these infinitesimal charges are actually calculated to influence the other. Because of this, using a more accurate model will naturally lead to more precise results. This has been Lab 2. Thank you very much for your time.